Hello, mathematicians. Today we are going to do a little bit of review and we will be looking at page 99 in our textbook. It says review 12 on it and it has a lot of questions. What I would do if I were you is I would pick some of them, maybe pick one column to try on your own. And this has a lot of good sort of mixed review for us. So you might want to get out a piece of paper and a pencil or a whiteboard and a little marker and do a little bit of practice. And again, you don't need to do all of these. I would maybe pick one, do a little bit of practice with like our vertical algorithm and adding 3-digit numbers, subtracting 3-digit numbers, got a little bit of multiplying and dividing, some subtracting with money. Maybe why don't we look at this one for just a minute, because this is one, this subtracting with renaming, that we sometimes struggled with a little bit in class. So I thought maybe it would be prudent for us to do just a tiny bit of review with that one. So let's see. We have 524, and we're going to subtract 378. And when we are adding or subtracting, remember that it's a good idea to line up our ones, our tens, and our hundreds. If you wanted to draw lines, you could do it that way if that helps you. All right, we always start in the ones place. We always start at the top. And if we have 4, can we take away 8? We can't do it. So what do? We go next door, we get some more. We rename this as 110. So we're bringing a 10 over here. We're going to make this a 14. And this is where, Miss Taylor, I would often stop in class and say, wait a second, do we still have 524? So now we have 500 plus 10 plus 14. Well, let's check. We have 500 and then that 1 and then 10's place, that stands for 10. And now we have 14 in the ones place, and that stands for 14 ones. 0, 0, 4. 0 plus 1 is 2. So we still have 524. So we're not changing the number, we're just renaming it. And now we can subtract in the ones place. So 14 minus 8, or we can think about 8 plus what gets us up to 14. And I usually use that strategy because adding is a little bit easier for me. So I can think about, well, I know 8 plus 2 gets me up to 10, plus 4 more gets me up to 14. So 14 minus 8 is 6. 1 minus 7, oh, we can't do it. More on the floor. We've got to go next door and get some more. So we have to rename this 100. So I'm going to kind of take one of these hundreds and make it into 10 tens. So this becomes a 4. This becomes an 11 because we already had a 1 there. 11 minus 7, or 7 plus what makes 11. 4 minus 3 is 1. So our answer is 146. Remember, a way we can check it is to add the two parts together. So when we're subtracting, we have our whole number minus one of our parts, and our answer is the other part. And so to check to make sure that we've done it correctly, we can add our two parts together, and our two parts should equal the whole number. So I could do that quickly. I could say 146 plus 378 as a way to check. 6 plus 8 is 14. I'm going to rename that. Let's see, 7 plus 4 is 11, plus 1 is 12. I'm going to rename that. 3 plus 2 is 5. And then we can check, is that our whole number that we started with? And it is. So that's a kind of a way that we can check our answers. So you might want to, if you kind of struggle with that one a little bit, or if you're thinking, oh, Miss Taylor, I'm kind of forgetting how to subtract using my vertical algorithm, then there are two other problems that you could practice with. Do a little bit of practice there. You're multiplying 5 times 6. What's that? Did you say 30? Nice job. 30 divided by 3. Ooh, what's that? Did you say 10? Nice job. All right, 8 minus $1.99. $8 minus $1.99. Ooh, we could use mental math because this is very close to $2. And I know $8 minus $2 would be $6. And then I would add 1 cent back because I was only supposed to subtract $1.99. Now, if that mental math strategy doesn't really make sense to you, you could always do it the vertical way. All right, I'm going to skip down to number 6, and we will kind of work through a couple of these together and do our steps that we follow to solve word problems. And I went to school the other day and I found my bookmark about how do I solve a word problem. So I thought maybe we could do a little bit of practice with that. That would be prudent for us so we don't forget it. Oop, drop my marker. Okay, so let's take a look at number 6. It says a magazine costs $5.80. A book costs $2.75 more than the magazine. Find the cost of the book. All right. Well, step 1 is we read the problem. We did that. Underline the question. Now here we don't really have a question, but we have something we're supposed to find. So I'm going to underline, find the cost of the book. All right. Then we need to write an answer sentence and leave a blank for the answer. All right. So the cost, we're supposed to find the cost of the book. So the book, well, let me make sure I have my capital letter. The book costs, put my dollar sign here, and then I'm going to put a blank, put my period there. All right, oops. That light is making it very bright. Here, let me turn that off. Okay, so there we go. The book costs blank dollars. All right, now we're going to identify the who and the what. And here we don't really have a who and a what. So why don't we do, oops, marker's running out here. We know that we have the cost of a magazine and a book. So a magazine and a book. All right, and we're trying to find the cost of the book. All right, the next step is to draw a unit bar. We are comparing two things. So I'm going to draw 2 unit bars. And we know that a unit bar is just a fancy name for a rectangle. So I'm going to draw 2 unit bars. I'm going to make one of them for the magazine. And one of my unit bars is going to be for the book. And I guess we could write cost of, we're trying to find the cost of the magazine and cost of the book. So we know how much the magazine costs. I'm going to go fill in our unit bar here. The magazine costs $5.80. A book costs $2.75 more than the magazine. So what I'm going to have to do is the book costs more. So I'm going to erase this and I'm going to make this one shorter. Now I could also make this one longer because I know that the magazine costs $5.80, but the book costs more. Do my little dotted line. And we know that the book costs $2.75 more than the magazine. So what we're trying to find out is, well, how much does the book cost? How much is this whole thing? And we know that the book costs this much more than the magazine. So I could just write in, it's almost like the book is the cost of the magazine plus $2.75. So over here to the side, we're going to work our computation. So let's see, I'm kind of coming down to, I did these things. We reread the problem. We chunked our unit bar. We made our little dotted line here. We wrote our question mark. Here's our unknown. And now we're going to work our computation over here to the side. So we have $5.80 plus $2.75 to find the cost of the book. Find the cost of the book. Okay. So when I'm adding money, sometimes I like to just go ahead and transfer my decimal point and my dollar sign so I don't have to do that at the end. 0 plus 5 is 5. 8 plus 7 is 15. because I know 7 plus 7 is 14. So 8 plus 7 is 15. I'm going to have to rename that because I can only fit one digit in each place here. All right, now I've got the dollars. That's 1 plus 5 is 6, plus 2 more is 8. And let's go over here. Let's cross off our question mark and see if that looks like it would make sense. That the book costs $8.55. And I think that would make sense because the book costs more than the magazine. Alrighty. So that is one of our problems that we have on this page. Let's look at just a couple more. You can turn my light back on here. See how bright that is. All right. So why don't we look at this one? Oh, it's about David. Hi, David. How you doing? All right. David took 35 minutes to cycle, doing some bike riding, from his house to the library. He left his house at 10:45 a.m. When they've kind of showed us on the clock, here's 10:45 a.m. And you will notice kind of a common mistake here would be to look at this clock and say, oh, it's 11:45. Well, it's actually not in the 11 o'clock hour yet. It's still between the 10 and the 11, so it's still in the 10 o'clock hour. All right, and David left at 10:45, so the long hand, the minute hand, is pointing at the 9. And he took 35 minutes to get to the library. What time did he reach the library? So if he took 35 minutes, we can go ahead and count by 5s across here. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So now the minute hand would be pointing at the 4. So that would be 11:20. So David reached the library at 11:20. Hope you had a nice time at the library, David. All right. Let's see. Number 8. It says Eric bought 20 liters of paint. Ooh, 20 liters. We have our little liter thing here from the other day. There's a liter of water. So he had 20 liters of paint. And after painting his house, he had 4 liters left. How much paint did he use? Well, if he had 20 liters and then he used some paint and he had 4 liters left, should we add or subtract to find the answer? Did you say subtract? Very nice. We're going to subtract 20 minus 4 would be 16. He had 16 liters of paint left. All right. Let's see. I think I'm going to skip down to, let me look at this one. Number 10. A drinks seller sold 52 liters of orange juice last week. He sold 38 liters of orange juice this week. How many liters of orange juice did he sell in 2 weeks? In the 2 weeks. So let's see. He sold 52 liters of orange juice last week. He sold 38 liters of orange juice this week. How many liters of orange juice did he sell in the 2 weeks? So to find out, they're kind of asking us how much did he sell all together? How many liters all together? So would we add or subtract? Very nice. Did you say add? We're going to add these 38 plus 52. Ooh, let's see. I know 38 plus 2 is going to get me up to 40. And then 40 plus 50 would be 90. So 90 liters. And the last one, Mr. Owens uses 5 liters of gas a day. How many liters of gas does he use in a week? Well, we know that a week has 7 days. 5 times 7. Ooh, what's 5 times 7? Did you say 35? Nice job. Alrighty. So our homework for today is, here we go. It is pages 143 to 145. So here we have a little bit of review for us. We're doing some regular patterns, right? The missing numbers. When I'm doing patterns like this, I like to do a little bracket underneath so I can see what the pattern is. So if I was doing this one, I would draw a little bracket or an arrow, and I would write plus 10, plus 10, plus 10, and then I can figure out the pattern. Here I would write plus 4, plus 4, plus 4. Here I would write plus 3, plus 3. So if we figure out what the rule is, then we can figure out the rest of the numbers and the pattern. All right. For this one, we're going to fill in the blanks with the correct units. Ooh, so we have the mighty meter. The teeny tiny centimeter. Kilogram. Gram, and a gram would be a couple of paper clips. A liter. We have our liter that we talked about the other day. H is for hour, and min stands for minute. So let's see, Morgan drinks about 2 blank of water a day. Well, she wouldn't drink 2 meters because we're talking about water. So water is capacity, how much liquid. So we wouldn't be talking about centimeters, kilograms, or grams. So these two are for length. These two are for weight. This one measures capacity, liquids. And these are for time. So really the only one that makes sense here is liters. 2 liters of water each day. How about this one? Jake takes about 5 blank to brush his teeth. So here we're talking about the length of time. So we would go over here. Does he take 5 hours to brush his teeth? Oh dear, I hope not. Or 5 minutes to brush his teeth. He's a good teeth brusher. I think the dentists say at least 2 minutes. Try to take 2 minutes to brush your teeth. All right. So see if you can figure out some of these units. All right. We have a little bit of practice with multiplying and dividing, writing some numbers in words, some amounts. So like $5.90, things like that. And the next page, we have a little bit of review with some fractions. Let's see, writing the fractions in order. What fractions of the ball are shaded? Ooh, and I can see here that they are showing us that there are 3 equal groups. And so one of those groups is shaded. So we could say one group out of 3 equal groups. So this would be like fractions of a set. And then here we have a little bit of review with time. Let's see, if Jake took 20 minutes to clean up his room, he started at 4:20. He finished cleaning his room at blank to blank. Ooh, so for this one, we kind of have to figure out if he took 20 minutes to clean up his room, he started at 4:20, he would finish 20 minutes later at 4:40. But they are asking us to write in a different way. How many minutes to the next hour? So 4:40 would be 20 minutes to 5. So he finished cleaning his room at 20 to 5. Ooh, that's kind of a tricky one. And then we've got some practice with AM or PM. Kayla woke up this morning at 7 o'clock. That'd be AM. AM means before noon, and PM means afternoon. Probably she woke up at 7 o'clock AM. That would be the morning time. The first star of the night appeared at 10:20. That would be in the evening, PM. Mark had lunch at 1 o'clock. Ooh, we'd have lunch at 1 o'clock PM. That would be right afternoon. Or 1 o'clock AM. That would be in the middle of the night. And the swimming team practices early morning. The swimming team practices early morning at 6 o'clock. And that would be AM. All right. And one more question. Will it take 10 months or 10 weeks to complete grade 2? Ooh, 10 months or 10 weeks? And I think they mean the whole of the grade. Your whole second grade probably took more like 10 months. 10 weeks would be about 2 or 3 months. All right. So that is your work for today. Have a lovely day, students, and I will see you again soon. Bye.